Too many leaders lead for validation, not impact, for what they can get out of it more than what they can give to it. Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm obsessed with how leaders grow and develop, and I too have insecure moments. We all do. Glad you're here with me now on the Sight Shift podcast so you can learn how to lead for impact, not validation. Welcome to part 4 of our series, Leadership is Easy Except for the People. And I'm breaking down the first component that we said in the first episode. You need a horizon shift. You don't have to have heard that episode to dive into this one. Whether you find this on YouTube or the podcast, they can be heard separately, but you can also get a lot from going back. So I'm focused on the horizon shift. We talked last time about who we're becoming, the horizon of who we're becoming. Now I want to dive into the ambition, what we see for what could happen, what's off in the horizon that needs to be better. Now, as I go through this journey, this series with you, look, the vision is the people. That was the big shift I had to go through. It's not about that I've got to force the vision on the people. The vision is the people. It's about their becoming. It's about their transforming. And my name is Chris. I'm obsessed with this, how leaders grow and develop, how they develop others. Oof, that's everything. You know, and at Sight Shift, I haven't shared this with you in the earlier episodes. You know, we live by this because this is what we do for companies, but we also live this internally, right? We look at the horizon of where we're headed and what does it look like to have that in place and the systems we need to use to build ourselves and build others as leaders so that we can have the heart shift, the joy of the impact, income, and fun that we achieve together. We use our measurement tools on ourselves to build our team. I mean, everything, because this is how you do it. Our obsession is giving to an organization the keys to a car, a leadership operating system, so they can build leaders who build leaders in 4 hours a month or less. Booyah! Here's the thing. What you need for yourself as a leader is finding the horizon by looking at what you tolerate. Now, the last episode was about your personal horizon, who you're becoming. Now we're looking at the ambition, right, around you. The starting point for really developing the ability to harness ambition is to look at what you tolerate or avoid. What most people don't realize is their leadership could be defined by looking at the things they tolerate or avoid. Now, this is going to make you a monster if you start at this place, because then you have crazy high standards without an appreciation for people. You're a human and you're becoming. That's why the last episode is so key. Once that's in place, now I'm not a monster. I'm not demeaning people by lowering my demands, right? I know that sounds paradoxical. I'm not demeaning people by tearing them down. I'm giving people more meaning by letting them know I care about who they are as people, and I want us to continually elevate the standards. And a key part of finding the horizons that are going to be a part of your ambition is finding the places that you don't mind continually elevating the standards. Where do you want to keep getting better? I want to keep getting better in how I grow as a leader, in my ability to show up and speak places and provide transformations, and most importantly, what our organization does to give companies a leadership operating system. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is what I eat, sleep, and dream. Think about. Short of my friends and my family, like this is the trifecta of my life. So what you want to look for is, what are the places for you that you are accepting something that bothers you? You want it to be different. Where am I tolerating something? Where am I avoiding something? And I know it can be better. And what happens with the process of ambition is I'm just looking for the places that I can get my heart pumping, get some meaning made, get some dopamine hits. Because once that starts to happen, then I can start to become the kind of person who has this horizon, and I'm moving on ambition. What's so great here, but what's so dangerous, is this actually is natural to a number of leaders. Now, it's a developable skill. You can get this, but this is natural to leaders. So this is something they're strong at. The problem is they skip over the last episode when it's tied into the process of who they're becoming. Once that's in motion, now I can bring the high standard to bear. I mean, as a leader of leaders, part of what you're doing is creating problems for the organization by introducing the new possibilities that are a higher standard. And I just believe I am probably talking to some people who are watching this, listening to this, who are actually in a place of suffering because they've lowered the standard rather than raise it. You say, but if I raise it, that creates fiction. That makes my life harder, right? Leadership is easy except for the people part. That's what you want. You want that friction there. So many leaders are trying to avoid these friction points when these friction points are going to do what? Spark a fire to help the leaders you're developing grow. It's going to help them get their own horizons of who they can become in character and what they can ambitiously go after with you. Yeah, this gets me excited because this is how you change the world. The world isn't going to change through cynicism. The world isn't going to change through being in a place that it's cool to not care. The world isn't going to change because nothing's working and everything's terrible. No, the world changes because there are people that are like, look, I can't fix the whole world, but what if we go do this? What if we fix this? What if we change this? What if we improve this? What are the hard things that you want to see happen? And think micro, macro. So I'm looking at the places that I'm tolerating or avoiding. Next, I'm looking at what are the hard things I want to see happen, micro or macro. It could be a small little thing that I want to get better at. I want to improve. I want to develop this. It could be macro. I want to tackle this big thing. I mean, who is Googling, how do you develop leaders that develop leaders with a minimum effective dose system? That's not something that's an easy problem to solve. But I wanted to solve that. I wanted to define a process to build world-class leaders. And it would be something others could mentor others in. But there's also small, micro places that the ambition gets stirred up. Hey, what if I got good at this? What if I could develop this little skill? Years ago, when I met my father-in-law for the first time, he let me take over the grill. He's like, you want to grill the chicken? I was like, sure. Never had I done that before. I can't imagine what he was thinking as I flipped that chicken 50 times, not knowing what I'm doing. Well, grilling was something I wanted to get good at. So I did. Now I can grill. Don't call me grill master. I'm still learning. Micro, macro. Where do you want to get better? What am I tolerating or avoiding? Where is there something that I want to see develop or get better? Last in this horizon shift of ambition, as I'm looking for the clues and the signals that are going to call me to a greater horizon of who I could become, of what is surfacing in me. You know what I look for? I look for my doubts. Now, there are a ton of leaders who screw up confidence. They don't understand confidence. They teach it poorly. If you ever listen to somebody teaching on confidence and they teach confidence like you should never have any doubts, and you just got to hype yourself past the doubts, they are dangerous leaders. Here's why. Because you can be as zealous as you want, but typically when somebody is overly zealous about something in a way that's tiring, that's grating, that doesn't take into account the nature and transformation of humans, they are overly zealous on that idea because they are insecure about it. Right? We've all seen those things where the politician rails against the idea, this is so horrible, this is so horrible, this is so horrible. Come to find out he was doing that thing in his private life. So this is the way we want to understand ambition. I actually want to acknowledge the doubt. It's normal to feel the doubt. If I'm stopping to tolerate or avoid something, and I'm getting into a new micro or macro change I want to make, in this ambition, this horizon shift, my doubts are actually a welcome gift. They let me know I'm alive, I'm growing, I'm normal, I'm working this out, I'm getting better, I'm welcoming these insecurities. I want to learn to laugh at them and not be so stressed about it and go, yep, that's me. That's me. I love to say this phrase a lot lately. I am generally correct, even if I'm specifically imperfect. And that's not a way to minimize in any way harm I would do to others. But hey, I'm welcoming this process of messing up. And these doubts are there and they're normal. I don't want to let the doubts cause me to not take the action. That's the only way that it's dangerous. But I'm going to show up in the doubt. And I'm going to let the doubt help me check my motives so that I'm engaged in this horizon from a healthy place. I'm relaxing the people that follow me with my wins and where I inspire them, or I'm inspiring them with my wins, but I'm relaxing them with my struggles as I share my own doubts. Hey team, I'm certain that this is where we need to go, but I can never guarantee you results. This idea of bringing an ambition. It doesn't mean we're perfectly and fully confident. We are not confident about the results. We welcome the doubts. We're confident about the process of change and that we're going to be willing to pay the price, and we're going to engage this horizon. Now, I got one more horizon piece for you in this series. You'll find it in the next episode. Wherever you find yourself, what are you tolerating or avoiding? What are the macro and micro inspirations you're drawn towards? And where do the doubts show up? And take those doubts, stare them down, welcome them, make friends with them, let them instruct you and grow you, because they're going to help you refine. A lot more coming your way. Always more at sightshift.com, S-I-G-H-T shift.com. Peace. Thanks for joining me on this episode. There's always more for you at SightShift, S-I-G-H-T shift.com, to be the leader you were meant to be.